Hi everyone, it's Jerald. This is dudesonromcom.com. Well, just dudes on romcom. The .com is implied because that would be the website where you'd find this, unless you found this somewhere else, like iTunes, which is literally the only place I've put it up because I've been lazy. So lazy. Anyway, it's just me again. I just finished watching, literally just finished watching, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Okay, I'm going to. This is going to be an interesting experiment as to what the hell is going to happen because I also am a little upset because I found a thing out that I didn't really want to know, um, or I definitely didn't want it to be true. So this movie, oh man, this movie. Uh, uh, so the thing is about these movies is, like I've said multiple times now, they are full of terrible people who just keep finding love. Oh God, we're already down this road. Um, and this one is no different. These are terrible people who bet on love for gain. Well, one bet on love, the other one bet on not love, and they both lost and or won. I don't really know. Um, to be fair, you can make an argument for either. So again, the premise of this movie is that, and again, I'm not going to learn any of their names because they're just them. Um, Kate Hudson's character is just wants to write real journalism. She wants to do real journalism, but she's at a woman's magazine, which are terrible and only deal with superficial nonsense because that is apparently what they sell them. It's I'm sure like Men's Fitness, where they just tell you a whole bunch of things that aren't really true or won't help you at all, but they sell their magazines on them on the premise of them all the time because that's what we do is we all just lie to each other to make ourselves feel better, and then lie to ourselves to make ourselves feel even better. But really, we just end up eating like a Twinkie on a couch and getting fatter and not doing anything for six pack abs because we're not uh, gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy or Jurassic Park. We're not that guy. You know, we're just gonna be us, and then we're gonna die young. Why did I laugh at that? I don't know. Look, this movie was terrible. And on the other side of the coin, Matthew McConaughey works for an ad agency, something I know nothing about, but am tangentially aware of, where he bets two women that he can get any woman to fall in love with him, and one of them or both of them are harpies, and choose the one woman knowingly that is trying to find a guy and lose him in 10 days. They are basically uh, something out of a Shakespearean novel where you're just like, oh, you're clearly here just to screw them over because you want to and you want to win. I don't know what to say about this movie. First off, it is like a legit 2 hours. It's an hour and 55 minutes. You feel every second of it. Um, God, I really got to get more people in on these because I am just not doing well at these at all. I guess I don't know. I haven't listened to the ones with just me on them because that is an amount of narcissism that I just don't have at all. But yeah, I mean, okay, look, they. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say about this movie. Although apparently Matthew McConaughey, who is still just Matthew McConaughey in this movie, is from Staten Island. Look, I've been to Staten Island, and it is very white, except for the parts where it is kind of black. And I'm assuming a little bit Hispanic or something else slash other. I will say something that I found funny about the last time I was on Staten Island for work reasons. They have a Tim Hortons. Guys, I've never been to Tim Hortons, but guys, Tim Hortons has started to invade America. It's a very Canadian thing. I'm starting to feel like that movie Canadian Bacon's coming true. And I can't say if it comes with national health care and Justin Trudeau, I don't know if I hate it. Um, but there's a Tim Hortons in Staten Island. And look, while I was on Staten Island, at Staten Island, I decided to also look it up because I passed this Tim Hortons, but I had literally just eaten. So I couldn't go to Tim Hortons and get some donut holes, or what they call them, Timbits. It's adorable, right? You just want to get a Timbit because it's called a Timbit. You've had donut holes. You've been to Dunkin' Donuts. You live on the East Coast. If you don't live on the East Coast, a donut hole is a ball of dough that's a donut. If you don't know what that is, other than that, I can't help you. I can't help you. Maybe you should have been in Sokovia when they dropped it out of the sky. Avengers reference. Better movie. Not a good movie though, but better than this. I just wanted to go to Tim Hortons and I couldn't do it. So I immediately, while waiting we're just killing time till I had to actually get up and be at my appointment. I then searched for Tim Hortons in the rest of the area, the New Jersey area, and what I found was there were two. There were two more Tim Hortons. One was in Hoboken, no joking, and the other one was in Hazlitt, which is apparently a town, and B, a word that you can spell. And why I don't really know why I'm assuming there's like a Jimmy Hazlitt somewhere, or he's probably dead. Like I don't know. The point is I can't justify the travel time to go to Hoboken, no joking, or Hazlitt to get some Timbits. I can't justify that, especially when there's like 47 Dunkin' Donuts and they're all the same. And I don't like coffee, so I can't really justify going there to do any of that. Although I do still think about it for no good reason. And I'm not going back to Staten Island because that is a $15 charge just across the bridge. Also ridiculous. It used to be like $13. And I'm sure somebody was like, it used to be like $5. Look, on the topic of tolls, I once, not that long ago, a month ago, drove back to Pittsburgh, where I'm from, originally, when I was 8. I remember when a toll on that road was like $10. Actually, I remember when it was like $8 or something like that. And I remember my mother complaining that it went up to $10. It is now $21.60. That is ridiculous. Now, granted, that time when it was $10 and went up to $10, I was probably in middle school, which was a long time ago. But that's not the point. Point is, I don't know what the point is. I just want to blame Republicans or possibly Democrats or really the entire political system and everyone involved. Anyway. So, like, more than halfway through this movie, because I'm still talking about this movie, don't worry, I'm sure it'll be over real soon. Because I watched this movie, I watched the hour and 55 minutes of this movie, and I don't want to really talk about any of it. But I might get to what I actually do want to talk about, maybe, if I feel like sharing that. So, at some point in this movie, after the halfway point, when these two have generally started to fall in love, even though they know they're manipulating the system, and one of them's actually trying to fall in love, and the other one is trying desperately to not, and trying everything to get out of this relationship. I gotta admit, I probably would have called it quits already. Maybe? I don't know. I'm really go along to get along kind of person. And I think I rationalize too much. Which is amazing because I'm single. And you think if someone who would just be like, yeah, it's fine, all the time would be in a relationship and just be doing real fine in it because he's not necessarily whipped, which is a phrase that feels sexist, but just doesn't care about fighting that battle, but will fight a battle if he needs to. Although I guess the real problem is that I just don't ask women out. Like, ever. I don't know why that is. Although, to be fair, I got this face. And the problem is, you go to this face and you go to anywhere normal and you go like, how old? By the way, just so if you don't know, I have a very young looking face. was somewhat young looking face. And I always feel really weird because it also screws up my perception of age, so I don't really know how old people are. Um, and yeah, it doesn't go well. I always feel like I'm gonna end up asking out a 16-year-old and feel real gross about it. Um. Anyway, so then I just spend a lot of time alone, keeping myself busy doing other things, because whatever. And I know what you're thinking. Try online dating. Done it multiple times. It all goes horribly wrong. Actually, what happens is, to be fair, what happens is, I message a lot of women that I don't really want to talk to because I've read their profiles and I found their profiles absolutely boring. And then if I do start up a conversation with somebody and they actually respond to me, then it goes back and forth for a little bit, and then I get really bored of talking to them because I just feel absolutely nothing, no connection between anybody that you talk to online because they're not in the room. I'm a very much live comedy kind of person. I would rather be in the room. Because then I understand who and what you are. It's really hard to be a person who just observes people for who and what they are and takes them at a face, not a face value, but everything that they like give you, tell you, act towards you, and you kind of use that to judge who they are and what they do, and then that is completely taken away from you, and all you have is text. It's really hard to understand a person that way. It's really hard to get a gauge of someone, and really hard to see how much you actually care. But that's really besides the point, because this movie is terrible. Can you tell that I actually want to talk about other things? I got some stuff in my head. Look, broad overstrokes. This movie, what they do is they sit there, they try to con each other because they're real bad con men. Well, they're pretty good con men, but they're real bad people. I don't know. They find some mutual love they end up having, even though she's terrible, and he's a guy who's trying to get over. I guess. See, the thing is, at the end of the day, he's just a guy. He's like, oh yeah, he has a bet on this for trying to get a woman, but in the end of the day, he could have just. It could have been no bet. He was still trying to get the girl. This is She's All That, except the girl's less cute. I might have a thing for brunettes. I don't really know. It's hard to figure out. It's not hard to figure out. It's mostly true. Mostly. Except for those 2 other times in real life. I mean, literally my first crush was blonde, but, I mean, that's a complicated story to unpack. And I'm not doing it right now, because I'm supposed to be talking about this dumb movie. And I keep thinking about Kate Hudson and wanting to say Kate Hudson, but keep thinking Kate Beckinsale. And we're just going to go back to that clearly has a thing for brunettes thing that I just said. Or the fact that now all I can think about is Underworld 3? 4. Oh, there's implications there, too. We don't need to talk about it. But basically, they just go after each other. She meets his family. He has got an uncle who's there. They play a really dumb card game, and then she has an uncle who's there who's flatulent, which is way too late in the movie to decide that we're gonna do body humor, whatever, gross humor. It wasn't even. It was really underplayed too. It was just kind of there. I hate fart jokes. I hate shit jokes too. It's just who I am. I don't know. At the end of the stupid movie, they're both at the mutual presentation thing they have to go to about diamonds. One because it's a women's magazine, I guess, and it's a social thing, and that's what they do. And the other one is the ad guy with one of his clients, his campaign, or his group of dudes, or his ad agency is going up. I mean, there's 2 women in there. Going up they won the bid. Yeah, I work at a graphic design agency. I should probably know some of this. So they're all at this gala, and they get called out to honor the wife of the dude who's the client, basically. And Kate Hudson just throws him under the bus and think, oh, he's going to sing a song. He loves singing. Which, by the way, we don't know that he hates singing yet, or at all. It's never really discussed whether or not he hates singing. It's just like she's trying to embarrass him because his homeboys came up to her and told her that he totally just got on a date with her because it was a bet, and then she strikes back. That's her strike back. But parallel, is that a word? I don't know. On a parallel trajectory, he is also informed that she is trying to lose a guy in 10 days by the people who set up this whole thing because they're harpies. They're like the old women in the beginning of Macbeth. You know, the ones who are clearly setting up this whole thing. Because if you think about it, would any of that book, movie, play happened if they just never said anything? You know, if Macbeth didn't think, I'm going to be king, would he have killed the king? Spoiler for Macbeth, kills the king. That's who these chicks are. They're instigators. So they go up, and she sings. Well, she gets him to sing, and then he gets her to sing. It's a duet, dueling thing, but it's more like a weird, we're expressing our emotions and all our hatred for one another right now because we're angry at one another, and this isn't really about the thing it's supposed to be about. We're just making asses of ourselves in front of all of the people we work with and other socialites. And somehow, at the end of this movie, because we are pretty white people, we get to keep our jobs. So much so, one of them even gets the freedom to write whatever she wants to write about, and to a point. And she quits. She gets to just quit and I'm gonna just go to Washington. I'm assuming D.C. because politics was the thing she wanted to write about. Although I think there's a lot of politics in Seattle, but I don't really know. I've never actually been. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand the difference between Washington State and Washington, D.C. Because people would just say Washington. And I got confused to where Mount Rushmore was. Because it happens. Sometimes I'm also distracted by shiny objects. Like, constantly distracted by shiny objects. Apparently this movie is not a shiny object, because the only thing I want to talk about is not it. But yeah, they have this whole, and then basically, okay, so they have this whole sing duet off where they're just yelling at each other, and really what it should have been was a hardcore rap battle. It should have been like 8 Mile. It should have been like the end of 8 Mile, and just drop the mic to Papa Doc, is what it should have been, but it wasn't. Instead, it was a movie where they yell at each other, then they run outside, and then the people from inside go, hey, you took the diamonds, you can't take the diamonds, and then she runs off, and he goes wherever, and there's like, I hate everything. And then the next day, he has that moment where it's like, oh no, wait, I do love her. I should go get her. And then he does the run, which involves a motorcycle. But, there's running. I must find the woman I love before she gets on a plane and leaves me forever. Because this was like before Facebook was a thing everybody was on. But what I find interesting is that A, that this just happens. B, this is like the second movie to end with Matthew McConaughey that we've covered in our oeuvre of movies. Is that the correct word? Tell me if it's not, or don't. It's the second movie to have Matthew McConaughey on a two-wheeled thing driving to find the love of his life. This one a little more heated because she's actually going to leave instead of just sit on a tree and watch a movie. But I was enjoying this is like honestly the best part of the movie. Not because of the actual thing that was happening, which was a man on a motorcycle chasing down a taxi cab, which is really kind of dumb and kind of boring. It's 2003, we're still in a post 9/11 world. I guess we'll always be in a post 9/11 world until the next thing happens. Then we'll just call it post whatever world, right? Because before it was like probably like a post Pearl Harbor world, and then we fought a war at that, and then we fought another war, and then kind of we've been fighting wars ever since. Why am I getting so political? I don't know. The point is, the best part of this movie is the run at the end, not because of the run at the end, but mainly because they played a Gin Blossom songs. They played a Gin Blossom song, which I sang along to, because I like the Gin Blossoms. I was alive in the 90s, so I remember them. I also remember that movie Empire, which used the song from the Gin Blossoms in their soundtrack, and I remember watching the video for it on MTV when they played videos from bands that really were never going to go anywhere. Although to be fair, they were popular. So, hey Jealousy. Hey Jealousy. That was the song. It's like their most famous song. It's not the one that they played in this movie, but it's pretty famous for them. It's their famous. So that was that movie. I cut over a lot of stuff because it was just so freaking boring, and I don't really want to talk about it at all. And it's 1:00 in the morning. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a thing, which I don't really know why, but I can't talk to my best friend because we're no longer roommates. And he's off having a happy life of his very own, and I'm just kind of sitting here alone. And I have to wait till I can talk about this with someone. He's the only one I trust. So now I'm going to scream it into the void, which is this podcast nobody listens to. But the thing I just found out tonight, because Facebook is evil. So long enough ago, there was this girl that I totally liked. The word infatuated comes to mind, and I don't know if that's really true, but the point is she didn't really like me back. Which is the literal story of my life. It's a whole bunch of ships that never intersect, never cross paths. It just never happens. And I made the mistake of going online and seeing a thing. The good news is, hey, everybody's happy except for me, but my sadness is A, nothing new, and B, nothing really that anybody cares about. But I'm really trying to... I watched this entire movie after just having found out that she just got engaged. So I'm not in the best mindset. I'm not in the best mindset at all, but I'm surprisingly... Well, it's actually not surprisingly, because I have a very different way of processing emotions. I think. Maybe other people are like this, and I don't really know. But basically I found out some devastating news like that, and I just don't really feel it. Not initially. Not right now. It's one of those reasons why I get called, like, basically cold-hearted, and I don't really care about anything. And I do care about things. I care about things a lot, and sometimes it just takes a while, not necessarily to sink in, but to definitely... Look, the thing is about me, I don't necessarily display my emotions. I don't necessarily say them out loud. I don't necessarily like sit there and cry or whatever and feel the need to like comfort you or whatever, because I'm processing it in my own way. Usually that means talking a lot. Sometimes raising my volume. Strangely, I don't really know I'm doing it until I stop and think about it. But the problem is, I have like a pretty, I like to say decent memory, but it's actually painfully good. And I think one of the reasons why I don't hit it that hard when I feel, well, when it is new, is because there's part of me that knows, I don't know honestly why, but it feels like it never goes away, ever. Like I will carry all the bad things with me forever, which is It feels like forever. I think it will be forever. Maybe I forget. Maybe. Maybe I have the luxury of forgetting. It doesn't feel like it, though. It feels like I carry everything forever. I don't really know where this is going. I don't really know why I'm saying this. I don't really know if this is going to stay in the podcast. But I'm having a bit of a moment, and I know that nobody listens to this thing, and I know nobody really cares because nobody cares. I don't know why I'm saying any of this. Nobody cares about my problems. Nobody cares about most people's problems. People just kind of pass in the day, pass each other, pass by problems. Don't really talk about anything. Keep it real cordial and nice. Don't get into the minutia. It's one of those things where everybody says they're like, "Hi, how are you? I'm fine." Very few people are probably all that fine. Or maybe, I don't know, that's a screwed up perspective of mine. That's just my worldview getting turned into what I say out loud. I'm sure most people are actually fine. They're actually fine. Not horrible. Not that bad. But often not great. I don't know. I just know that I'm usually not. And I usually like to keep busy. This way I don't have to think about it. God, it's so much easier to keep busy and not have to think about it. Which actually explains why I'm trying to shoot a video one weekend, and the next weekend trying to re-dip my car, which I will do myself. And then next weekend after that, it's going to be my birthday, and I'm going to go to my brother's house and play around in the yard by doing lawn work from birthday. Yay. So, I'm just really kind of down right now, I think. I feel like I'm down right now, but right now I have to go to sleep eventually. And I don't know if I can. I'm a little scared too. Because I don't know what I'm going to dream. I don't think I want to. Alright, I am super sorry for this to anybody who actually does hear this or listen to it at all or care to get through the part where I stop talking about the movie, which, to be fair, guys, I don't know why you listen to this if you want to hear about this movie. I pretty much don't talk about the movie. I am sorry. Maybe next time. Maybe there will be a little bit of a hiatus before the next time, so I don't do this alone again. So maybe I'll come back in June. It sounds like a plan. I'm going to take some time off till June. Yeah. Then I'll rope Dennis back into this. Who knows? But, yeah. Alright. Hey, so, and I don't know why I'm going to say this, but feel free to email, at, unopotatovids@gmail.com. Send us, me, anyone, a message of anything. Just what do you want to talk about? It doesn't really matter. I'll read it. I'll give it a listen. I might even respond, or maybe we'll read it on the podcast. And then you'll have some modicum of absolutely no fame, because nobody listens to this. I'm 100% sure. Till next time, guys. Till next time. Bye.